NWOCR Webfest Fridays. I'm delighted to be joined by the power trio that is the mighty SKAM. How are you three?
Hello!
Hello! Steve, Neil and Matt, how have you been?
Pretty good, you know, all things considered.
Surviving?
Yeah, are you good? Are you doing all right?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, well done on intro. An absolutely fantastic record that reached number 6 in the UK rock and metal charts last month. So amazing achievement. You must be delighted.
Absolutely. When we set out, you know, we always keep our heart on our sleeves and we're honest how we approach things. So as if you're like an independent band, just the three of us, to actually achieve that just blew our mind. You know, the amount of support we had throughout the community, it was just unreal. The only problem we have though is we always want to do one bigger and better. So now we've done this. The next release,
it's a challenge.
Yeah, that's it. You know, we set high standards for ourselves, so we just need to figure out how we're going to better that. But it was amazing. We had a little meeting on the night when this chart was announced, just the three of us on Zoom. Got a bit emotional, sunk a couple of beers. It was great, absolutely amazing feeling. So, you know, thanks to everybody that helped us get there.
You have it, whatever it is.
I think from day one, when we was, you know, we were getting out of town and gigging, and we started playing some bigger and better shows. We wanted to be out there, you know, with the people. So we're not a backstage band. We don't disappear. And even when we just, you know, when we're first on the bill and we're opening for a bigger band, we like to be out and mingling with the crowd and having a drink with people and getting to know them. And then I suppose people get to know us personally, and then it's a bonus that they're into the music as well. So then when we come to gigs, you know, it's more of a party, isn't it? It's good to have that community feel. I think it's something that bands do sometimes miss. They get a little bit I am going to say arrogant, but you know, sitting backstage and thinking that it's the band's place to be out of sight. And I get the fact that creates a little bit of mystique, but at the same time, I think in this day and age, in the society we live in with YouTube and like the, you know, consumer culture that we're in, people want something extra, and that's something extra when they come to a gig is to be able to talk to the band, to be able to ask them questions about the music and the tracks and what guitar you're playing. And I think, dare I say, I think we do that very well. It's naturally, it wasn't something we thought about. It's just what we want to do.
Yeah, we like gigs ourselves. You know, that's why we're in a band. So to kind of have a social, have a few beers, and get to play, it's just a good night out. It always baffles me why people would want to sit backstage all night and try and pretend to be a rock star. Just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I think Steve's hit the nail on the head with that.
Yeah, and I think people really appreciate that. It's like the personal touch. People want the experience, the best experience they can have. First of all, I mean, when I first saw Venus, I thought, oh my God, they've spelt it wrong. You know, somebody should tell them that's not how you spell Venus. But it was a penny dropped, intravenous. So is this the follow-up to Intra? We've got like a part 2 coming out.
Yeah, exactly that. It's originally we were thinking about doing you know, the standard album, and then we decided to split it into 2 EPs just to kind of give it a bit more length, really, so we could release things over a longer period of time and just do something a bit different, you know, because we just like to push boundaries a little bit and do something a bit different to what everyone else is doing. So the cool thing is now that we've just had like a little break since Intra's come out, and we're pretty much ready now, aren't we, to put out the next one and start releasing singles again. And it's just nice to remain active rather than get your album out and then it's done and then you start work on the next one for, you know, a year or 2 years. So it's really exciting. We've got some good songs still hidden away that have not even seen the light of day live or anything like that. So first single's out pretty soon, I think. So yeah, it's basically the second part of the album, if you like, and it's meant to be a 2-parter. So should be good.
So do you have a release date for that yet?
Do we? we don't have an exact date, but it is going to be September. Okay. I was reflecting on this the other day, and I actually think we've been really, really lucky in the sense that, you know, we've seen some of the bands that we consider to be our peers, and we've struggled a little bit through lockdown as musicians, you know, trying to keep that momentum going. And I've seen, you know, a few big bands released records and then just been really frustrated that they're not able to tour it and build off that momentum of like release. But just completely by chance, we'd already planned this 2-part thing. So we've been really lucky in the sense that we can release Intra. We don't have to, well, we'd love to tour, obviously, but we've not been too worried about not touring because we know we've got another set of stuff to release, you know, bringing out at the tail end of the year. So we've been really lucky that way.
Yeah. And what's cool about it as well is we can keep writing when we're like, you know, the he's done, and it's been done for some time. So we're still like writing away in the background while we can't tour. And
so this evening, what kind of songs are you going to be playing? Are they going to be mainly songs from Intro? Are we going to have any songs from Venus? We're going to get a sneak peek of what's on the new record.
The easy answer to that is no. It's we're keeping things very close to our chest at the minute. Again, we try and do things. We try and be a little bit different, and we think that there's a little bit, you lose a little bit of something. You know, in the old days when you would go and you'd hear a couple of singles on the radio, or you'd watch MTV, and you'd go to the shop and you'd buy an album, and then you'd get the album home and you just sit down and you know, consume it and really digest it. And there's all those hidden gems that you didn't know were on there that you get to hear for the first time. And we want the fans to have a bit of that. So we try not to release too much. You know, we want them to have some surprises when they stick their disc in, press play.
Let's talk about where we can see you this year. You know, as we come out of lockdown, everyone's itching to get out and about, go to gigs, see SKAM. So you've got an unplugged gig with Empire at the Waterloo at the end of May. You
know, we don't really do acoustic gigs and whatnot, so it's going to be something slightly different. And obviously with the rules, with the social distancing, and who knows what's going to happen tomorrow with it all. So yeah, I think that's a case of we're going to turn up. To be fair, any gig we've got booked this year, I think, is going to be the same. No one really knows. No one really knows, do they? I mean, I think anyone that's in this scene or goes to gigs, if you genuinely believe from June the 21st, you can just turn up in a 4,000 capacity venue and crack on it, nothing's happened. I don't think that's going to happen. But as far as gigs we've got booked, we've got a few festivals, so hopefully the outdoor element's going to help with that.
You've got Cleethorpes Rocks, that's in July, and then your Friday night headliner for Sabfest.
Yes, that's
amazing.
Nice,
really looking forward to that one. You've got a rock cooperative gig at Leo's Red Lion, that's in August. North Fest up to August, and Rocking the Bowl in September. So you've got quite busy diaries for sort of summer, autumn. Are you going to be touring aside from that with the release of Venus?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're in a band for gigs, but like I've just said, you know, we were discussing this the other day about potentially putting something together for the back end of the year. But I think one thing we've got to bear in mind is all those tours that have been postponed and been reorganised from October onwards. You know, the saturation in the gig market's going to be massive, we feel. So we've not really decided, have we? I mean, we're always fishing and always getting offers for tour supports, that kind of thing. So something like that was to come along, would obviously, you know, look at the options. But as far as Intro or Venus tour goes, I think realistically that's more likely going to be early 2022.
Of course, one of your tracks is going to be featured on the New Wave Classic Rock album. It's coming out in July, Volume 1. So are you going to tell us which track it is, or do we have to wait and see?
Oh, sure. But yeah, we decided to go with the Iron Cross. And the Iron Cross was a song off of Tamog that sort of took on a bit of a lease of life. The fans just really took hold of it. We hadn't really paid it much attention. It became a bit of a fan favourite. And so it seemed apt that we would, you know, go with it on the very first Volume 1 of the New Wave of Classic Rock. So yeah, we're immensely honoured to be asked to be on part of it. And so I can't wait to get hold of a copy myself.
Well, it's been great chatting to you. Look forward to your set this evening and to see you on the road.
Thanks very much.
Nice chatting to you.
Thank
you.
This is rock and roll. Ready out to
myself.